Fear. False evidence appearing real.
Being afraid of something that has not yet happened and may never happen, based on past thoughts, beliefs, and conditioning. Throughout this world, there lives only two kinds of people. Those who have conquered their fears and those who are living their fears. Those who are living their fears and those who are living their dreams because they had the courage to take on their fears.
What is the number one killer of dreams? What do you think is the number one reason the majority fail to live a life they love? What is the number one reason why people fail to succeed at any level? It's not luck. It's not lack of money or opportunity. It's certainly not circumstance. It's fear.
Fear is the greatest killer of dreams that ever roamed planet Earth. Fear is that voice inside you that says you can't. The voice that gets louder and stronger every time you listen. Every time you let fear dictate your decision, fear grows stronger. Fear grows bigger. Fear is the voice of average. The voice of the settler.
Fear must die. Fear will die.
The only way you can change is to step right into your fear.
You must step right into fear. You must sum up all the courage inside you and do the thing you fear most.
Failure may come. Your greatest fears may be realized. And that is why you go in with the attitude that you will do whatever it takes to conquer that fear.
No matter how many times I fail, no matter how many times I feel rejected, embarrassed, down, out, I will not give up. I will keep at it until my greatest fear dies. I will stand toe-to-toe with fear. Fear will die. My largest fear carries my greatest growth. I will never let my fears decide my fate. I am bigger than any fear. Fear has no place within my heart.
Fear has no place within your heart. Fear is conditioned into us from a young age. Many don't pay attention to the stages of fear. Be careful. You can't do that. Play it safe. These consistent fearful thoughts add up, live inside us, and form our psychology, which for most turns into inaction. For most, turns into average. For most, turns into settling for a life they aren't passionate about living.
Fear will die. It's time to take back control.
So how do we overcome our fears? Find something that is more painful than your fear. If you have a fear of failure that's stopping you from going all out and achieving at a high level, a more painful thought might be disappointing your family, or the thought of your kids seeing you settle for a life you don't want, and knowing they will follow in your footsteps. Maybe a greater pain would be the thought of getting to the end of your life and knowing you never really lived. You just existed. You got by. I need you to really feel that pain. Think about it. Feel a deep emotional connection to the pain. Write down why you won't settle for that pain anymore. Write down why you must conquer this fear once and for all. Why you must. What would be worse than your fear? We say it all the time. What is your reason? You have to have a strong enough reason why you must. They say if you have a strong enough why, the how will come, the results will come.
Why must you do this?
Be more fearful of what it will cost you if you don't do it. Be more fearful of the impact it will have on your future if you don't take action. Be more fearful of how it will impact the lives of your loved ones if you don't take action. What will it cost you? What about if you do face it? What about if you do conquer it? How will it improve your life? Who else will benefit?
Fear will not stop me if my desire to win is strong enough. Fear will not stop me. Now I am in charge. I live without fear. I fear nothing but a mediocre life. I fear nothing but an average existence. I fear nothing but an unlived life. I choose to live free, free from fear. Now I am in charge. I am in charge. Freedom! What would you do if you had no fear of failure? Why are you waiting?
Walk me through like that mindset, like how you built yourself back up.
Well, I mean, fitness was something that I got into at a young age and, always carried me through whatever job I had. I did construction, it was manual labor. When I ended up in the infantry, I fit in perfectly into that world because it's very physical. And when I was injured and went through that depression and was struggling, I knew that I was always happier when I was healthier. So that was one of the things that got me into changing my eating habits, getting back in the gym, which wasn't easy at all. I mean, I tell people all the time, what that actually showed me was a side of fitness that I was not used to. Being that person walking to the gym that was insecure, didn't want people to see me struggling, but I had to get over that.
And you started going late at night, right?
I did. Yes, because I wasn't, there's a lot, I meet people all the time. We meet them all the time, people that want to get in shape, but they're worried about joining the gym, what they're going to do. And I got to experience that. But then as I started exercising and feeling better, then I didn't care what time of day I went. Then I started using that to my advantage, where I tell people, I had to convince myself I was doing what others can't. Not in an arrogant way, just to myself.
Right.
Because no matter what gym you go to, there's always somebody bigger, stronger, faster. But I could stand there and have a guy next to me that is bigger than me and think, but could he do it missing arm or leg? I mean, deep down, I hope he could.
Right.
But you have to give yourself that mentality that you're doing what other people can't. When I meet someone who battles with obesity, I say, well, then you have struggles ahead of you, so you will earn that and appreciate it more. And so I think that mindset of doing what other people can't is what really drives me to want to do the best.
You struggled so much in your journey to get going again. I'm guessing there was some process to your self-talk, to how you were framing the world that allowed you to get moving again.
Well, I mean, this isn't on the same mindset of that doing what others can't. My main thing that happened was I am very close to my kids. I have 3 kids. They're 7, 9, and 12. And they are my motivation. When I was going into the gym in the beginning, I tell people all the time, you have to have something stronger than your fear. And mine were my children. The day that I walked out in the living room and my 3 kids were sitting there, and I knew that I was showing my 2 boys what a man is, and that's what they're gonna grow up to be, and I was showing my little girl how a man's supposed to be, and that's what she's gonna look for one day, I knew I had to make a change. And I admit to people, I talk about it in my book, I'm very open and honest, it did not happen overnight. Just because I had that realization that I had to be better, it didn't just happen. I would make a mistake, fall flat on my face, but it was the thought of them that got me up and going. And it was the thought of them that pushed me through those beginning workouts, getting back into shape, doing whatever it was and pushing myself to be better. I tell people all the time, you have to have something stronger than your fears. And for me, it is my kids. And I use that in whether it's fitness, running a race, business, whatever it is, we all get scared. That's what makes things exciting. But you have to have something stronger than that to say, you know what, I may be afraid to do this, but there's something more important that I have to do this for.
Well, have you ever encountered somebody that doesn't have kids or they don't immediately know what that thing is? Like they really want it, they want to get in shape,
Yes.
but they don't.
No, it's not easy, but I mean, there's something in all of our lives that is important to us. Whatever that is. I don't think there's anything wrong with someone saying, you know what, I want to have a big house and a sports car. Whatever it is, you got to want it bad. And I am big on with my kids and other kids, and I've always told people they probably have nieces or nephews or someone near them that looks up to them. And that's what you have to go off of. There is someone watching you. It may not be a child. There is someone watching you that you will motivate. Like I love the fact that I ended up, in the spotlight, and now my story reached more and more people. But if you just motivate one person, that is a world of difference for them. And that's what people have to keep that mindset of, is like, when you do things, you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for someone else.